The majority of Shark Tank pitches result in either a great deal or a rejection. While the rejections are hard to watch, sometimes a terrible deal is even harder to watch. Here are 10 times the sharks on Shark Tank scammed entrepreneurs. READEREST. READEREST creator Rick Hopper approached the sharks with a product that would help people who use reading glasses keep their glasses from getting lost. He was seeking $150,000 in exchange for a 15% stake in the company. Lori decided to make Rick an offer of $150,000 for 65% of the company, giving her the majority of READEREST. Rick went for Lori's offer, believing that if the product could be sold on QVC, it would have a better shot at making it. Wicked Good Cupcakes. Mother and daughter business owners Tracy Noonan and Danny Villaggi came to the Sharks asking for $75,000 in exchange for 20% of their cupcake in a mason jar product. Kevin liked the idea and thought that they could be big. However, his offer, well, that was less than exciting. Kevin offered the lady $75,000 for a $1 royalty up to the first $75,000, and then 45 cents after that. The mom and daughter took the deal, and after the tank said that they're still glad they took it and it's worked out well. GROOVEBOOK. When Kevin and Mark made a joint offer to invest in GROOVEBOOK, they couldn't have had any idea of how big the company would get. The company, which prints photos directly into photo books straight from your cell phone, was led by Brian and Julie Whiteman. They were originally asking for $150,000 for 20% of the company. The Sharks went a bit above the original ask. Kevin and Mark offered the $150,000, but for 80% of the company. Since the Whitemans took that super low offer, they have now since sold the company to Shutterfly for $14.5 million. Not a bad deal in the end. Show no towels. Shelly Ayler appeared on Shark Tank in 2012 with an idea for a new kids towel. She had an idea to create a towel poncho that would make it easier for kids to dry off at the pool. Shelly had already sold her ponchos to several water parks and also had a deal with Six Flags Magic Mountain and Legoland California. Lori really liked the product. She liked it so much that she immediately offered $50,000 for a 25% stake. The mom was so thrilled with the deal until, that is, Lori was not the involved investor that Shelly hoped she would be. After the show, Shelly blasted Lori on social media for being an absentee investor. The company has since gone under. CHEX. Sometimes the youngest entrepreneurs have the greatest ideas. This was the case for Derek Paquet, the inventor of CHEX. He was frustrated when going out to bars and having no place to put his coat. He developed CHEX, which is a mobile kiosk with a ticket-free system that allows people to check their coats anywhere. The Sharks were all very interested in the product. However, it was Mark Cuban who was quick to offer a deal. Mark offered $200,000 for 33% of the company. By making this offer, Mark was setting the value of the company at just $600,000. He declined the offer and was adamant that he could continue to develop the company and grow it into a huge success. Well, he was right. After walking away from the super low offer that Mark presented, Paquet has gone on to provide CHEX far beyond bars and clubs. He expanded to airports, New York City Fashion Week, and sporting arenas, and well now, multi-millionaire. HY-CONN. When Jess Stroop appeared on the Shark Tank, he had created a super quick connector for garden hoses and fire hydrants that would make hookup the quickest it could possibly be. The entrepreneur was asking for $500,000 for 40% of the company. Mark Cuban again saw a huge opportunity. He offered Stroop $1.25 million with a 3-year employment opportunity for Stroop for company ownership. In addition, Cuban wanted 7.5 royalties for as long as the product was in existence. Stroop took the deal despite the other Sharks telling Cuban he was stripping Stroop's whole life away from him. In the end, the deal fell through and Stroop went to grow HY-CONN into a multi-million-dollar company on his own. Stroop said that it was Mark's ego that got in the way of a deal happening. Imagine that. How do you roll? With a create-your-own sushi restaurant in hand, brothers Peter and Yoon Young rolled into the Shark Tank with their company, How Do You Roll? The brothers were seeking $1 million for a 12% stake in the company, after receiving a letter of intent from an outside investor for $6.6 million for 75% of the company. After hearing their pitch, Kevin decided to offer $1 million for 22% of the company, valuing the company at around $5 million. After hearing Kevin's offer, Mark laughed at him and said that Kevin was undervaluing their company. Kevin changed his offer to $1 million for 20%, and the brothers happily accepted. As the brothers were leaving the tank, Barbara called after them, and they made a deal with the devil. RUFFLEBUTTS. Husband and wife team Mark and Amber Shaw presented their product RUFFLEBUTTS, a children's fashion line. They were asking for $600,000 for a 7% stake in the company. The couple pitched the sharks and Lori took the bait, offering $600,000 for a 9% stake. The catch was that the couple had to pay her back the $600,000 in 2 years. Essentially, Lori was offering the duo a loan. They ended up accepting, and once they left, the other sharks went after Lori for offering such a terrible deal, with Mark calling it a Kevin deal. Litter. Sisters Rachel Mann and Mackenzie Birdlick presented their company Litter to the Shark Tank in the show's 3rd season. The sisters designed body jewelry and were asking for $80,000 for a 51% stake in the company. Damon liked what he heard, however offered a deal at $80,000 for a 70% stake. In addition, he offered an annual salary for each sister. The other sharks, specifically Barbara, were shocked at Damon's offer. Barbara went so far to say that Damon would not have made such a low offer if the designers were men. Mark decided to go in on Damon's offer as Barbara repeatedly told the ladies not to take the deal. Barbara's advice fell on deaf ears and the sisters took Damon and Mark's deal. Technology-enabled clothing. Scott Jordan was looking for $500,000 for a 15% stake in his company, Tech. The product he presented was an e-vest designed with compartments for smart devices. The inner compartments had clear touch fabric that allowed you to see and swipe your devices while they were still in the pockets. Kevin went an interesting route, offering Jordan $1 million in exchange for a 30% stake in the company. Patent and retail business as long as Robert would go in with him. Unhappy with what he felt was a bad deal, Jordan decided to call one of his advisors, none other than Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple. Once Wozniak was on the phone, he confirmed that Jordan's instinct was correct and the deal was too low. Jordan walked out of the tank and continued growing the business himself. Which deal did you think was the biggest scam? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one.